What's up, everyone? My name is Jesse, and this is the Auditorium where I react to video game music for the first time as a musician myself. And today is a return of Clair Obscur Expedition 33. We have Spring Meadows, Beneath the Blue Tree, and Forgotten Battlefield, Dualliste from the channel Lorraine Testard, which is the composer, requested by Elijah. Yet again, another expedited song for Expedition 33. I have a rare chance to plug myself, which I hate doing, by the way, but sometimes I have to do it. And if you're interested, I did a bass cover of Rain from the Ground, Go Blue Steam on my guitar channel. I'll put it at either here or at the end of the video, whatever. But yeah, that song inspired me to like pull out the bass, and yeah, this soundtrack is pretty intense, pretty cool, but most importantly, the best thing about it so far for me is the sheer variety of it. So that being said, I have no idea what to expect here whatsoever. I have no context on these, just the way I like it. So this is Spring Meadows, Beneath the Blue Tree. Let's go. So Alice's vocals are all over the soundtrack then. Is it just her? Trying to get a feeling for the mood here. Whoa. It's like sounded like classical dubstep for a second. I'm not getting anything visually. I'm just listening to her voice. There's like an intensity of this soundtrack that I can't explain. It's really intense. Like, it's really powerful. Even when it's not necessarily like hard hitting, it's hard hitting and it's like in an emotional capacity. Like right now, the cello's there's like a lot of tension. Tension is a good one. A lot of percussive element too. Like that hits hard too, but like in its own way. So right there, I knew it was gonna end like that as soon as, because I saw how much time was left and how that was, like how the song is progressing. That right there is kind of what I was sort of touching upon the last time. Was it the last time I heard this game? I don't remember. But I said we can pretty much expect this game is gonna either sweep, in a award show, but at least we're probably gonna see performances of it live, hopefully this year. And this has to be like one of those types of songs on there, because you can tell with like just those rhythmic stabs at the end into dead silence is when the crowd erupts. That's really, really cool. Damn, dude. I think the thing that's really fascinating me about this soundtrack, besides everything really, is well, a couple things. It's a lot of it's the excitement of wonder and curiosity, right? It's language I don't speak, so that already is like, what are they saying? What are they, what is this, the culture, all that, right? But not only that, is in the limited amount of French vocals I've ever heard in my life, I've never heard it with that much intensity behind it and this sort of genre behind it. It's like a mishmash of, there's like some operatic things, some classical things. This one had a more modern rhythmic section, sort of like kind of dubstep, but not really, obviously. Dubstep, when I think dubstep, I think of like the hard-hitting beat every couple of measures, not just the but like the boom, pa, that thing. It just had its own version of it while her vocals are going, kind of wild. This one felt very, very tense. I have no context on this one. All I have is the title, Spring Meadows Beneath the Blue Tree. But the whole thing felt very tense, as I couldn't tell if it was like maybe a boss fight or about to be a boss fight. It also could be neither of them, but it felt like I was approaching something, and that's kind of the only way I could put it. But I did want to say one thing when I read the title, and I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but I've definitely said it to like my peers and people that ask me whenever I do a live stream or something, and they're like, "Hey, have you heard of Clair Obscur?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think everyone in the world has at this point." And like all my friends have played it, some have beaten it. A lot of people like move their backlog over just to squeeze this one in. But one thing I've said, because I've seen a little bit of it, and one thing that's really stuck out to me personally, this is officially in my backlog now, by the way. Don't ask me when I'm going to play it, because I have no idea. The colors. I really like the colors of this game. A lot of like aquas, teals, roses, rosemary, and like just like colors you don't normally see in games, and then combine that with like the kind of like blurred effect. And a lot of people don't know this, and it's not really like it's not even a fun fact really, because it was so brief. But the reason I even have like this camera that you're watching is because I was interested in like photography for a while. Not like to the point of like being a photographer. It was just I liked the idea of like, bokeh. And if you notice, like one big thing in my videos is like kind of like an aesthetic, right? Like having something up close and then it blur, like all that kind of stuff. And then I apply that later to like being a webcam. But that was kind of like a byproduct of like photography, art, and angles, and learning, white balance, saturation, all that stuff, right? What are the three? Is it the three keys? I don't remember. It's like aperture, shutter speed, whatever. And I got fascinated by that kind of stuff. When I see this game, it's like that's just one of the elements that go into it. There's a lot of reasons to like this game. I haven't played it. I've seen how it looks in battle. It kind of looks like an Atlas game, sort of. But I've also heard that it's been compared to Legend of Dragoon, which is really exciting because I played that and I was kind of good at it with the additions. But from what it sounds like, it's a collection of gameplay, story. Every time I see a thumbnail of this game, someone's crying. Gameplay, story, visuals, music. What am I forgetting? Probably characters, I have no idea, but I'm assuming. So it's kind of like a total package kind of thing. To me, visually, and I do mean visually, it stands out because if I do happen to watch a streamer and they're playing it, I have the volume completely turned down to a point where I can barely even hear them. But I'm seeing like, oh, that's kind of cool. But I also don't want to see too much either because I do kind of want to experience it too, albeit it's going to be way later than everybody else. Anyways, sorry to rant, but yeah, no, I really like the artistic value this game has. There's like there's something there. There's this really beautiful aspect to it, and I noticed it right away. No clue what this song is about though. Like I sometimes get like a vision or something, but this time all I felt tension, but I didn't see anything. One more thing before I move on to this next song, which I'm about to start. I have no idea if these two songs are related to each other whatsoever. By the way, if you want to comment stuff with a spoiler tag, just do me a favor and write like spoiler at the top of it, and that'll help not only me but others. Sometimes people just combine songs that they like from the soundtrack and have no relation. So this is Forgotten Battlefield, Dualliste. Forgotten Battlefield sounds like a fight, so let's do it. 6 minutes. Oof. Oh boy, let's go. Dualliste. Is that the first time I hear like a male choir? This gave me a feeling. This one's menacing and huge. Also very important. I don't know what they're saying, and yet it's still melodic. That's really cool. This sounds like I'm like in front of a giant or something. I'm thinking with like God of War. What's his name? Cronus? The huge guy you climb on top of? Not anymore. This is the beginning with the. I wonder if it's gonna stay like this for the 6 minutes, or if it's gonna like transition to something. I think I hear a guitar or something. There was like a really faint like dun 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 dun. Ooh. Oh, that's good. See, like even a choice like that, having an acoustic guitar really turned down, just so you can feel the string instead of hearing it, that's cool. That's really cool. Everything serves the song so well. The feeling I had at the beginning is like totally gone now. I have no idea where this is. Although I'm hearing bells now. There's some kind of time related thing here. The horn section has come in. What genre is this? What would you call this? Are there bands that sound like this? It's got that same bang from the last song. Oh man. The dynamic shifts are wild. So bizarre to sound so tranquil and chaotic at the same time. Both these songs have this really looming tension. Is this game hard? I'm asking. Well, we'll talk more later, but don't answer that yet. Don't answer that yet. I have a feeling this might end the same way as last one, just like a sudden stop. I love being wrong. Almost music box like. Did I hear a note at the end? Sorry. Did I hear a note at the very end? Hold on. Let me just hear something real quick. It sounded like they just left it in, the take. That's cool. I know that seems so like minute and whatever. To me, I'm not going to elaborate too much on that because it's silly. But as a musician, I can really appreciate the almost live feeling that gives me, like a performance. And they're just like, you know what? Let's just keep that in because that's just like, you know, you can hear them like almost like get up off the piano or something like that. I don't know. It's little things like that that really kind of put the whole package together. What I was originally going to say before that happened was. I'm gonna guess that these two are connected, but I want to say maybe by a character or some story element, not necessarily the area, because from what I've gathered, Clair Obscur's soundtrack is kind of organized within like their location. First one says Spring Meadows, this one says Forgotten Battlefield. Now those could be like neighboring places, but it feels like the one we just heard, it had that same tension of the first one though. I don't want to like linger too much on this, but it did feel similar. It had like the cellos giving that rhythmic feel, so right? Giving that. Both of them had this real tension in the air that just felt like something was like about to happen. When this one started, this one was crazy though because it sounded like 3 songs at once. It was like a 3-parter sort of. The beginning was intense and to me sounded immediately like a giant. And when I say giant, I think of for those that played, is it God of War 3? I think it's God of War 3. There's this gigantic boss, quite literally a giant, called Kronos. And instead of like you fighting him like a normal character, like you versus them, it's like you climbing on them, and the stage and the level is the boss. You know, anyways, so he's gigantic, right? Sort of similar vibes with the beginning of that, like how it sounded with the male choir and stuff, which I haven't heard too much of, if at all. And then it went into this, there's this thing that I felt like in both the songs where they just kind of like changed dramatically. slow down, and then they introduce this kind of like nice dreamy section. For example, like if this was a boss theme, then that could have been like maybe something that was attached to a mechanic of the game, kind of like how Final Fantasy 14 does, or this didn't sound to me like a roaming around type of music or menus. It sounded like some conflict. If I had to guess, a real shot in the dark, the first song we heard was like the beginning of what, right before maybe, I don't know, man. I'm just gonna guess. The first one sounded like it led up to this one, but the titles are throwing me off. Anyways, and then it got to this nice little middle section, which was my favorite part. You know, they had the arpeggios playing, and then something interesting, and probably the best thing about this soundtrack to me personally, is that middle section highlighted what I like about everything, and that's like the songs serve, every instrument and choice serves the song. Nothing is like overbearing. Like, yeah, the guitar's there, but it doesn't all of a sudden take center stage. It like makes itself known, but then it's way back in the background and just barely playing, so you can hear like the strings being touched by the pick instead of being played. Things like that, you know, little noises, little percussive noises. I feel like there's probably over 40, 50 different types of percussive stuff used, like just any household items in this soundtrack, that kind of thing. It's really artistic to me. And then the last part was just what we just heard. So it felt like it just kept changing. But I don't know. It's just really impressive, man. I'm seeing the recommended on the side. YouTube is showing me, well, now that you like that, here's like 4 more videos for Clair Obscur, and one of them is the playlist of 154 songs. Someone told me, I don't know if it was a comment or something, but they're like, this soundtrack is like somewhere, they said 6 or 8 or something hours. I was like, what? What? And it makes me think, how long was the development process for this game? 8 hours or whatever it is. Either way, 150 songs. That's like years of development. So I don't know. Just praise over here for me. That's all I got though. Let me know what's happening here. Vaguely, I guess. But I do plan on playing it someday. Not anytime soon. It's gonna be well after the hype and the rush, but it's in my backlog now. If I had to guess, maybe sometime in 2026, but not this year, unfortunately. I do want to try it though. I just have to avoid spoilers. Anyways, awesome. That is Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Forgotten Battlefield Dualliste, and Spring Meadows Beneath the Blue Tree. Now, again, I'll say it. Who knows the next time I hear this game? For those that don't know, I don't just do stuff I do the complete opposite of what's like, new and fresh and stuff. This is all because of people are shooting it to the top. And so far, this has the record for most songs shot up to the front. So, again, I'll say, I don't know the next time I'm going to hear Clair Obscur is. But every time I say that, someone challenges it, so. Cool. Well, I hope you're all enjoying the game, and if you beat it, then cool. Thank you to the requester. Thanks to everyone you see on screen. I couldn't be here without them. Thanks to you for watching. My name is Jesse in the auditorium later.